Hello, everyone. I am Assemblywoman Inez E. Dickens, representing the 70th Assembly District in Manhattan, and I'm happy to be joined by the fantastic group of panelists, Cynthia Doty, Deputy Chief Clerk, Board of Elections. Dr. Dotson is going to give us the history, and Leilani is going to tell us why young people have not voted. Cynthia, I thought that you could start out by telling us just one or two things, like the current political climate has affected the overall opinion of most voters. How has that opinion changed in the last few years as it comes to voting?
Well, I think this year there is a tremendous interest in voting because of COVID. We've increased our the ability for absentee voting, and people are nervous. They're nervous about will the ballots be counted? Will the post office deliver the mail? But we do have a lot of people registered to vote. I think in Manhattan alone, we have over 1 million voters registered in all the various parties. There are now 3 different ways that you can vote. You can vote on Election Day, the way we have traditionally. Polls are open from 6 to 9. But then you can also vote early voting. And that was started last year, but I think this year is going to be very, very popular. There are 9 days of early voting. People are assigned to a specific early voting site, but when they go there, it probably will not have long lines, and it should be a simpler way to vote. And then, of course, as I said earlier, by absentee ballot. You can apply for an absentee ballot, and this year the reason is, you can say, for fear of COVID or fear of catching COVID. Those are the 3 different ways that you can vote. And I think there's a determination on the part of voters to get out and actually vote.
Black people and black and brown people tend to be fearful of absentee ballot voting. Even as I go around here this year, even with COVID, we're fearful that that's a way of keeping us from voting. Can you tell me how that is addressed? And I understand that during the early voting, as well as on Election Day, you're going to have a sealed ballot box available. Is that correct?
That's correct. In fact, we have one here already at 200 Varick Street, our office. It's always best to be able to vote on the machine at either an early voting site or on Election Day. That vote goes through the system and is calculated on Tuesday night. The other option is to do absentee voting. If the voter is a valid voter, we then open up that absentee ballot, and then that gets scanned in by our scanners, and it becomes part of the official total results.
If a person has either done online or sent in for an absentee ballot and they have not yet received it, what do you recommend that they do at this point?
So if they applied in August or early September, then they should definitely call us, and we can figure out what the problem is. We can track the system. And the phone number is 212-886-2100. For those who haven't applied yet for an absentee ballot, don't wait until the official deadline, which is October 27th. Please try to do it at least 2 weeks before, because then if you're using a post office, it gives a little more time for the mail to be delivered. Going online is actually the straightforward way to apply for an absentee ballot now at vote.nyc. And then that's our website. You click down and you click on the absentee ballot, how to apply, put in your information, and that goes right into our system.